What is going on, guys? Trey coming back at your screen by means of the World Wide Web. And on the 12th of May, global version got Trial 005 featuring Zevalhua the Supreme. So let's basically get into what this trial is all about, guys. It's a 3-part trial, okay? You got to defeat Zevalhua 3 times. So we just basically going to break down how this thing goes. The first form of Zevalhua has 700,000 HP. Really easy to beat, guys. Just pretty much blow through her. Really, there's only 2 attacks you need to worry about with this first form. The first is called Extension, guys. It's a massive dark element attack that deals fixed damage, 170% HP as damage on a unit with the lowest HP every 4 turns. Alright, so with this attack, guys, what I made sure I did was you always had a goddess idol on my unit with the lowest HP, which in this battle for me was Diana. Diana had the lowest HP on my team, so I made sure I kept a goddess idol on her, so if she was hit by it, it wouldn't kill her. She'll be able to survive it, and I'll be able to just heal her back up and keep her in the battle. But also, you have the option to guard. Do make sure you try to mitigate every turn in this battle, guys. As you'll see in this fight, I didn't do that, but just be careful about that. Make sure you know what turn you can and cannot mitigate on. If you want to count, that's fine, but I didn't count every 4 turn. I just kind of ate it. Also, once you get her to less than 20%, you get hit with endless 80 hit dark attack. If you mitigate, you got high HP, you'll easily survive it, no problem, guys. Alright, so as you can see, knocked out the first form really fast. Move on to the second form. Now the second form is a little bit different, guys. Alright, with the second form, you have an attack that's called Glorious. Zevalhua does it twice in this form. First, when you get her to 90% HP, she'll start talking, guys. Once you see on that first turn, she says, "Children born of fools." Alright, 3 turns later, she's going to release an attack called Glorious that pretty much will wipe you unless you do one of 2 things, guys. Either you got to just bash her head in really hard and get her HP low, alright, or you have to get her HP to less than 70%, or you're going to need to use Magrus's UBB. The route I decided to take, guys, was to use my boy's Ultimate Brave Burst. Alright, and then if you do take that route, the second time she charges Glorious is at 50% HP, guys. She's going to say, "Gods grant me power." 3 turns later, she's going to release Glorious again. Now, let me just put this through your head, guys. It's a really strong attack. You pretty much have to use Magrus's UBB to survive it, or mitigation alone would not cut it. Alright, so make sure you slow down this time. If you're going to use the way I did it, you'll see here I kind of slowed down the battle. I wanted to make sure I had my overdrive gauges filled before I got her to 50% HP. That way, when I saw her say, "Gods grant me power," I could instantly activate Magrus UBB, get on with the battle. Alright, you don't have to worry about extension in this form. Glorious is pretty much all you have to worry about. If you can make sure you time it right with Magrus's UBB, you'll easily get through this second form. Alright, guys. So just to quickly go over the units I use. Of course, the Lord Magrus was a must, guys. That Ultimate Brave Burst, the epitome of damage mitigation with my boy right there. So you'll see Glorious is actually coming up. It's going to say Glorious is going to do 1 puny damage. See, nothing to it. And then after that, guys, you can pretty much mop that second form out. Alright, just take care of it. The second unit we used there was Diana. A majority of this battle, guys, your leader skills are locked. Okay, so they have no bearing on pretty much how the battle goes 80% of the battle. The main reason I brought Diana is for her BB and SBB. When she activates it, she gives us BC when we're damaged, BC over time, so on and so forth. Pretty much a bunch of ways to keep the BB gauge filled, which is extremely important in this battle, guys. You don't want to get caught with your pants down, so to speak, needing mitigation and not having it. Alright, so Diana helps tremendously with that. Alright, so definitely bring Diana if you can. There's a lot more to this battle, guys, but I'm pretty much going to discuss the main things you really need to worry about. Like she does have immunity to status ailments. She gives BC resistance. She does attacks that inflict curse paralysis. All right, just make sure you bring a status mitigator with you. All right, you'll be fine with that. Don't too much worry about the BC resistance. That's why you bring Diana. All right, she'll keep your BB gauges up, so on and so forth. All right. Now the third and final form, guys, is her most difficult form. All right, we got 1.8 million HP on this one. So the main things you need to worry about in her third form. All right, extension. Extension is back in this form, guys. Trust me. That move is probably the biggest pain in the butt in this entire battle, all right? Extension. Endless is predictable. Glorious is predictable. Extension is even predictable if you choose to count. I personally did not count. I really can't stand counting when I'm battling because I usually end up screwing up what turn I'm on and end up guarding too early or taking precautions on the wrong turn, so on and so forth. It basically ends up being a problem. So I never count. Like I said, what I did is I just made sure my HP was always pretty high, and I always kept a goddess idol on my enemy with the lowest HP, because that's what extension is going to hit. It targets the unit with the lowest HP, guys. And like I said, for me, that was Diana. All right. So you got to watch out for extension every 4 turns. When you get her to less than 50% HP, she's going to use extension on the unit with the highest, with more than half the BB gauge, more than 50%. All right. When you get it to 40%, she's going to use it again on a random unit. All right. And she also has some chances to use that junk twice after the fact, guys. So she hits you with extension twice. If she hits the same unit, there's nothing you can do, guys. Unless you got an idol on them or an angel idol effect, they're pretty much going to die. Nothing you can do about it. It does a lot of damage. That's kind of the point of it. But pretty much after, besides extension, the only really other attack you need to worry about is that endless, guys. Once you get her to 20%, which if you look at her name, Zevalhua, between the letter V and the letter A, roughly that area is 20%, guys. I highly recommend that you have Magress's UBB in effect, because this endless is going to hurt a lot more than her first form's endless, guys. Her first form endless, as long as you have high enough HP, you can mitigate it. You'll be fine. This form, you will probably die off of mitigation alone. All right. So I highly recommend using Magress's UBB for that. All right. But back to discussing units. My man Arden, another clutch unit. I use Arden because not only could he paint the squad with light damage, so everyone could do increased damage, but also that attack down debuff that he has. When it worked, it came through, guys. Like it really just makes the damage output just horrible. All right, and I'm sure you've seen sometimes in this battle already where she's only been doing 1 damage with attacks and so on and so forth. So nothing really to it with my man Arden. He was very clutch unit. Diana, of course, is our mitigator, guys. All right, if you can, be sure to have mitigation every turn. In my battle, I did not. Thankfully, I had the Lord Magress with that 110% defense buff. All right, it's not damage mitigation, but trust me, it does help. It definitely came through on some clutch moments, helping us to survive. All right. Then I got my boy Rignus here. Rignus was a clutch unit too, guys. My boy here. So in these pictures, I'm showing you what spheres I got equipped on them and everything, guys. All right. So you know exactly what I used here. On Rignus, Drevis, Magic Ore. Wanted to make sure my boy didn't get no status ailments. I can't afford to have him paralyzed or cursed, guys, because when I need him to be ready to go right off the bat. So there were a few turns where I needed to heal with him as opposed to using his SBB, because with his BB and his SBB, he removes status ailments and nullifies them for 3 turns. It's just with the BB, he heals. With the SBB, he does not heal, but he does an attack. Very good stuff, all right? So we're able to keep that up with my boy Rignus. As you see, we're whittling away. We're getting to that area, guys, all right? We're getting to that point where we're going to need to prepare for endless. You see, I just used my boy Magress's UBB. Got to be prepared, guys, all right? Be ready for that. So you see, we got to make sure we time it correctly. The first time I did this, I did not one squat it, alright, because I slipped up right here. This is why I made my mistake. I got all the way here with the first squat, and I did not time Magrus's UBB properly. It ended up costing me my first squat. So what I made sure I did here was just guarded that, because I wanted to time it perfectly. Cost me a Rickness, but whatever. I didn't have anyone die before here, so just made sure I got my boy Rickness up and just wrecked it. I wasn't worried about healing Rickness. Alright, Magrus's UBB is coming up. He's not gonna kill me. So bada boom, bada bing, baby. Perfectly timed. We can wipe it out. Last but not least, big shout out to a guy named Big on my friends list. I used his fever in order to complete this. As you can see, his fever is pretty much top of the line, guys. Best type, max imp, pretty much the best sphere setup for just raw stats. So big shout out to you, Big, for helping me out with that. Alright, really big shout out. Appreciate it, bro. You really came through for me. So thank you. Alright. So that's pretty much it, guys. You can see we're whittling her down. So this is a squad I used to complete with one squad, guys. Hope it helps you. I hope you enjoyed it. Alright. So if you wish to join the Facebook group, link down below in the description. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Please continue to like, subscribe, favorite, share, comment, and everything else. And I will definitely be back at your screen with more Brave Frontier Global soon. Later, guys.